All right, we're gonna start off with creating a 1-inch grid on your 4.5 by 6 photograph that has been edited in Photoshop with a cutout filter. So this cutout filter is going to give you 3 different values: a white, a gray, and a black. So for our cutout filter, what we're gonna do on the photograph is apply a 1-inch grid. I should have grabbed a 12-inch ruler, but I have my yardstick here, that will work. What I'm gonna do is measure how wide. It should be 4.5 inches wide, and I'm gonna make a little tally mark at 1 inch going across the bottom. So it's the long line next to the number. I'm gonna make tally marks all the way down. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and create that same tally mark, but at the top of the photograph. So here I'm looking at the long line, making tally marks across the top. So now I have 2 sets of tally marks that are 1 inch from the left and go down all the way down the photo. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna connect these tally marks. And this is gonna give me my 1-inch grid. Line them up, draw the line. All right, so now we have columns going down. You'll notice because it's 4.5 inches, you will have a half a box left over on the right. So now I need to create the 1-inch grid going across. You'll see it's 6 inches. I'm gonna make 1-inch tally marks at 1 inch all the way down. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. The reason why we make 2 sets of tally marks is so our line is going to be straight. All right, so now I have all the tally marks. I'm gonna go ahead and line them up. And now I have applied a 1-inch grid. All these boxes that are on my photograph, I have a 1-inch grid over the entire thing, and there's a half a box left over. Now we're going to be applying a 4-inch grid onto our large paper. All right, and we'll have to hold the camera up much higher because you need to see the whole paper. So this 4-inch grid is going to give us the same 4.5 by 6 boxes, but it's going to be on the larger paper. So when you are doing the 4-inch grid on here, and this is going to help us enlarge our photograph from the photograph image we have onto here, I'm going to line up the ruler. The paper is 18 inches wide, and I need to count by 4s. So I'm going to make a line at 4 inches, 8 inches, 12 inches, and then 16. You'll notice there's 2 inches left over, the half a box, same thing that we have on our photograph. Now I just need to move the ruler up a little bit. I need to, again, make 2 sets of tally marks so my line's gonna be straight. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to 4 inches, 8 inches, 12, and 16. So now that I have 2 sets of tally marks at the same space, I'm gonna go ahead and line up my 2 tally marks. So I have 2 places I can line up the ruler to assure me that my line is gonna be straight. We're gonna be erasing this grid, so please draw it very lightly. So I'm gonna take my pencil and I'm gonna run my pencil along, and I have a very light pencil line at 4 inches from the edge of the paper. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and keep drawing the grid. You might have to stand up for this, because the paper is so big. All right, and there I have my 4-inch grid going across, and now I have to do the length of the paper. So this is 24 inches, so I need to make my tally marks at 4, 8, 12, 16, and 20. Move the ruler down, and I need to do the same thing. 4, 8, 12, 16, and 20. And then I'm going to line up my ruler and draw the line across the grid. So you'll see the same grid is on the large paper as it is the small paper. My grid on this large paper is 4.5 boxes by 6 boxes. Same thing that is on the photograph. So the next video that we'll create is how to use the grid to create your line drawing of your larger image on this large piece of paper. Okay.